Hey there, I'm Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, October 4th, 2020. And I'm not going to lie, it is gnarly out there astrologically, as you probably are feeling it. And this is no time. It has not been fun to be an empath. Let me just say that it's been intensive. And going into the astrology this month, into the middle of November, is the most intensive that any of us have lived through and will live through. That's the good news, is once we get through this, it'll lift off and get better. There'll be some shifting going on. I've gone into a lot of the astrology in recent videos, so I don't feel like I need to dive into that too much for this show. I have felt called to do some tarot and channeling. So I'm going to start with that. So I'm just going to start with a general reading for those of you that are tuning in. And thank you, by the way, very much for those of you that have been tuning in and watching my videos. I really appreciate your support. And for those of you who don't know me, or this is your first time tuning in, welcome and hi there. I've been a professional psychic since 1988. Way before it was cool to be a psychic. And, channel, I'm an empath, I'm a medium, I use tarot and astrology when I'm doing private sessions. I also do past life regression and rebirthing, psychic development instruction. I do house clearings. So my bag of tricks. I'm also a musician. All right, so just ask my guides to come in full force, whatever it is I'm supposed to be communicating to those of you that are tuning in today. What we all need to hear and know. I'm hearing we all need to breathe deeply and more often, that's for sure. And I'll be putting the cards out here, and then I'll hold them up one at a time as I talk about them, or two at a time. Sometimes I'm looking at two cards at the same time. So let's just see what the messages are for those of you tuning in. Okay. I know I make faces. My clients sometimes will go, what? As I get little hits as I put things down. Okay. I've been feeling all day today this sort of impending doom feeling. Pluto went direct today, and it's squaring Mars. It'll be exactly squaring Mars. I think it's like Wednesday of this week. So death and transformation is going forward now. When it was retrograde over the last several months, it's kind of offline. As it moves forward, it really starts its demolition and transformation again. And it's a power player. And Mars is also super intensive. I said I wasn't going to go into the astrology, but I'm just feeling this intensity. I'm ruled by Mars as well. I have 3 planets in Aries. My sun and my moon and my Mercury are all in Aries. So I've been really feeling all this traipsing through my sign very intensely personally. And then, like I said, as an empath, I'm just really feeling so many people in deep, dark despair. And that's really kind of what I'm seeing here in the cards to you. Let me just start with the general reading. The first card that's representing the overall situation is the trust card. So it's about trusting yourself, trusting your higher self in particular, not your ego self, not your mind, what you know, but just trusting like that the sun will shine and that the universe and our guides have led us through 100% of our worst days, and we've gotten through them. So we will get through this difficult time. And it's really about tapping into higher principles and spiritual practices and breathing deeply and trying to look out of your little bitty world and the world even around you and just look for things to have gratitude about, the trusting yourself, trusting the process of life, just trusting life itself and its essence, and appreciating life itself. We're alive. That's a miracle to be conscious and present right now at this time and place. Some way, somehow, you've signed on to be here now. Like, we came in to help transform this planet, and that's what's happening right now. And we can't transform things without having things that aren't serving us and aren't working for us being torn down and taken away. So I feel like, especially in the realm of relationships, that this is really showing up intensively this month. The sun's in Libra right now. Mercury's having some intensive square offs and oppositions. It goes retrograde next week. I start feeling those things ahead of a time. That's why I was like, I didn't even want to go into the details of all the different squares and oppositions. It's so many. And I start feeling things ahead of time, even after the fact. This last full moon was super intensive. I couldn't sleep for a couple days. I don't know about y'all. The dream card is coming up. So this card comes up so often in relationships where the person can sense the beautiful potential in the relationship or in someone, especially my psychic, intuitive clients and friends can really tap into. On a positive side, you can see the person's highest good. You can see their Buddha nature, their Christ self, their higher self. You can see their great potential and what a wonderful person that they can be. This card depicts, however, this person is sitting here by themselves. So even though this is a potentiality, this is the reality. And it comes up so many times in relationships where you're just so hopeful that this is what you'll experience, but yet this is what you're really experiencing. And so it's kind of a come to Jesus and get real kind of a card. Like, look at what your life is right now. What are you getting out of your relationship? What is the truth right now? We all have potential. We all have this great infinite potentiality in it, but what are people showing up and doing right now? Are they walking in their talk? Are they doing what they said they're going to do? And I feel like the answer is no. On a positive end, the dream card can be the ability to sense great potential and the potential to go after your dreams. But I see this a lot with healers and other people who are intuitive and psychic, that it's a hook to get into relationships where you feel like you can help the other person be a better person. You can feel like, I can help this person be better. It's a trap often because it sets us up in a codependent, I say us because I've done this many, many times in my relationships in the past. It sets us up to be codependently trying to manipulate, even in a positive way, even if you're trying to help the person make better and you're putting out the effort and you're trying to do all the things you can do to bring things into this person's environment, to give them great ideas and give them great insights and help them heal in whatever way. It's not our job to heal other people unless, you're getting paid for that service as a healer and your people or clients are actually giving you money for your insight and guidance. In that case, they're more apt to listen to what you have to say. Whereas if you're just dispensing your advice on your partner, on the people around you, trying to help them, it will often fall like rain on a rock. It's just, and that's what I'm feeling, is just this stubbornness and this intensity that's going on to try to bring about this vision that you can sense, help this person bring about their highest potential. And it's just not happening. And it feels like the highest best thing is really to let go and say, how can I best nurture and care for myself right now? How can I take care of me? So these cards represent the conscious focus or what you might be thinking of. And this is kind of gnarly here. It's the projection card and the suppression card. So card comes up when people are feeling depressed. They're feeling like there's nowhere to turn, like they're just like internally and externally, it's very bleak. And so a lot of what's happening is like this in the world right now. And of course, the more you focus on the negative, the more you're going to perpetuate what is negative. This is one of those things where you have to just stop and do a gratitude list. Like, what can I be grateful for? That I'm alive right now, that I'm breathing, that, I have a roof over my head, that I, have people that love me in my life. Like sometimes like the sun is shining, like to go for some basics right now. I'm feeling disconnected to relationships too, just feeling overwhelmed in relationships. And then this card is definitely a card about relationship. And a projection is someone who projects what's going on for them onto you. Classic human experience. If you have not done your work, or someone else in your environment has not done their inner work, done their healing to clear out the woundedness that they've experienced in this lifetime, clear out the baggage that we've brought in for past lives, people who have not done their work project their unresolved stuff onto the people closest to them. And they will often call those people out for the very things that they're doing or feeling or thinking inside. And it can be crazy making to be in a partnership with someone who's just projecting their unresolved stuff onto you. And so that's what it feels like these two cards together are saying. It's like, you don't have to stick around that kind of energy. If that's what's happening, that someone is not, and you have gone hoarse trying to convince or get the other person to see, hey, or defend yourself, feeling like you're constantly defending yourself and trying to go, no, that's not right. That's not what I'm doing. Oh, it's exhausting. So these cards together again are like just showing what I was feeling earlier when I was meditating before I started recording this, is that there's just so many people that just feel stuck and don't know how to even begin to shift and change things, particularly in the realm of their relationships. I don't know what to do. That's what I'm getting. Like, I just don't even know. And a lot of people are just picking up destructive habits, or diving more deeply into the destructive habits that you already have. Like, it just feels like a whole lot of addiction, a whole lot of depression, mental angst is going down. That's exactly what I was feeling earlier, as I was just feeling so like filled up with empathy for so many, many people suffering. Okay. The bridge that's crossing right now is the Totality card. So this is about throwing yourself in completely to something, like just giving it your all. And in this case, I'm really drawn to the spiritual light here. It feels like the thing to put yourself into completely is spiritual practices. The most basic spiritual practice is to breathe in divine light and to try to breathe out the funk. And doing that over and over, that is the simplest form of meditation. And spiritual plugging in. Of course, if you have spiritual practices of chanting or prayers that work for you and raise your life condition, that's what we need. Right now, the collective, the pulse on the planet is intensive and dark and full of fear and full of angst. And so to rise up above the collective into a higher realm, there are people that are meditating and chanting. So just even tuning in to everybody on the planet right now that's offering up prayer. That's a wonderful vision and image that I'm getting right now. It's like, okay, tapping into others that are feeling hopeful and feeling the essence of spirit coming through and lifting them up. And this is the time to let go of the ego and let yourself be guided by spirit. Listen to your intuition, which I fully believe that everyone possesses, just like we all have senses. We all taste, hear, touch, smell. Some of us can be a little on the blind side or a little on the deaf side or a lot, but in the same way psychically, some people are just have a difficulty tuning in, but there is this intuitive voice that we all possess that is the connection to our higher self. And it is our GPS system. It is what I believe my whole business name, Psyched-Up, is all about, that everyone has this potential to listen to your own intuition. And sometimes we learn about our intuition by overriding our intuition, getting a hit, that's what I call it, about someone or something, and going, let the rational, logical mind go, oh, no, no, no. And then going, I knew I should have called that person, or I knew I shouldn't go to that thing, or I knew, like, so often in hindsight is what we see. But I would just ask you every day to tune in and ask yourself, what today, or what this moment, do I feel guided to do? Not what do I need to do, what I should do, what I have to do. What do I feel guided to do? What would bring me joy? And I feel like sometimes right now we have to go search for the joy. Like I go purposely looking for things that make me laugh. I spend lots of extra time right now in things that bring me joy. My gardening, my spiritual practices, my instruments, connecting with people that I love, making more phone calls than usual, just to hear a beautiful voice on the other side. And sometimes just making a phone call can lift you out of that depression. Someone who can just put your mind on something else for a time being. Okay. Underneath the scene. So underneath is like what's going on that we might not be able to see or sense right now, but that will be out pictured later. And so the two cards I have here are the ordinariness card, which just picks this person just feeling lovely. He's got a basket that he's picked there, fruit or flowers or something. And the beautiful tree has flowers on it. And it's the simplicity and the ordinariness of life, like taking a walk, breathing deeply, enjoying the scenery, and also just knowing that, to me, underneath the scene, this is peace that's coming and tranquility that's coming, even if you can't feel it right now or today, that, tapping in, even remembering places and times that you felt that joy and peace of just being in nature, the simplicity of cool grass under your feet and a breeze that's blowing. Like it just feels like tuning into nature right now is one of the most healing things. And then the participation card is going, and this is really about letting others help you and being a part of. It's like 4 different principles coming together, 4 different people coming together, 4 different things coming together. So it's like a new plan, a new group coming together, like working with others in some way. I really feel like the community, even if it's an online community, is super important right now. Like coming together. So whatever it is that draws you with other people, whether that's a spiritual community or a 12-step community or a community around your interests, music. I feel like there's just a coming together with this card, and that we're not alone. That's the other thing. It's like so many people are isolated right now, and in your, people that don't have family with the COVID and everybody staying more shut in are feeling so much more isolated. But people are there on the other end of the phone. They're on the other end of a Zoom or video chat. And it's, I feel like more of these things are coming together, more feeling the networking through new ways of coming together. Yeah, I'm going to see. It feels like there's something else about that card. I'm just going to move on and see what else comes up. Okay, so this is the recent past. This is the sharing card. This, again, is someone who's really been, to me, this feels like the mom and the teacher and the healer that's just been working real hard to inspire others and bring light to others. She's got these like 5 little flowers behind her. I feel like this is like other people that's been leaning on you. Whether you're a man or a woman, this card is is the divine feminine. So it's the nurturer, the healer, the one that's going to help you out and bring your light. So it feels like there's been really people working hard to try to bring their best self into a situation and really help others. And even if they're literally feeding others, and like, it feels like people are going, someone's really gone extra to really reach out and help. And still I'm feeling this like worry. I'm feeling a worry with this person. This is the awareness card, which is, it's like aha moments when you, so this is like realization where you've like seen something shift. And I feel like the message together is like, oh yeah, when I get out of myself and I help someone else, oh, things can really shift. So I feel a tingly with that. So that's a message of like remembering the things in your past that have brought you joy, and try to implement some of those things right now when you may be joyless or less joyful than usual. Because I really feel like that's the case for the majority of us right now, having to really work just to have this, you know, a flatline day, not even like a woohoo, it's a great day. Like most of us are like been feels like we're underneath the waves, and like I'm just getting this feeling of like the caught in the undertow feeling. And it's like, okay, remember things that have brought me joy in the past, and helping others, reaching out to ask someone else how they're doing can get you out of yourself. Okay, here's some good news coming in the near future. Here's the success card. So it's the tiger here walking on the globe. There's a celebration coming. I feel like this is a really good news. Heading in the middle of there's some like, oh, things to celebrate. Maybe it's job offers, or you decide to step out of that relationship and you feel free and like, oh my God, why didn't I do that sooner? Or the election results that you have hoped to happen. Oh, it feels like it's like, oh yes, relief, good news is coming. That's good. And it feels like it's over this next 6 weeks too. Like that's what the near future timeline feels like to me, that it's like in the next 6 weeks, which would cover the election period. So I feel like there's going to be some good news in this election period, and just like lifting of spirits. Okay, this card is coming up. This is the existence card. This is the card that indicates that was just a small piece in this big universe here, and getting that perspective of, because sometimes our egos can be just inflated, and it can be all about us, and what, you know, if things aren't going well with us, well then F everything, you know. And this is about realizing that we're not the only ones suffering right now. We're like, and again, the call to spiritual practices feel paramount right now. The more that you can do your meditation, breathing, chanting, whatever it does that lifts you up and makes you realize that you're part of a greater whole, this is the time, all hands on deck with this. Really try to keep your negativity in check and raise your game. Raise your spiritual game. Like if you already have spiritual practices, I say double or triple it what you're already doing. Like really, the times are calling for, the vibration needs to be raised. So we all affect everyone in our life. Like we're putting out energy all the time. What we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're doing puts out energy like a big old gong. The sound waves go out infinitely. That's what we're projecting into the whole world. What's going on in our minds, what's going on in our feeling state, what kind of actions we're engaged in sends a ripple effect. And if you're feeling funky and you're just staying funky and you're doing things that make you feel even worse, and I'm talking about substances and drugs, alcohol, food, negative behavior patterns, you're putting that vibe out there to everyone else. And if you can conquer your own demons and raise your life condition, raise your game a little bit, you're helping the collective so much. Especially right now, we're at a pivotal transition point. Okay, so these cards are representing you guys. So we've got the turning in card, this is one of my psychic cards. So this is about really listening to your own intuition. And this card is the adventure card. And you may not be able to figure out the big picture, may not be able to figure out tomorrow or next week or next month's guidance. You can figure out today. This is about go to the light. This is like following where the bliss is. What would bring you joy today? What resonates today? Again, and this kid is going into the rainbow. He's not sure what he's seeing. He just knows that to head here into the rainbow and not into the bushes. So this is about listening to your intuition and trusting it to move you in a new direction. We're only stuck if we tell ourselves we're stuck, and we let our emotional state be stuck, and we don't take any action to unstick ourselves. So this is about, okay, get out and walk around the block to move your energy. Again, call someone, tell them you're struggling and you need extra prayer or chanting from them. Prayer for others, I think, is often even way more powerful than prayer that we have for ourselves, because someone can pray for you without the blocks that you might have for yourself. Okay, so this is the environment. So this would not be you. This would be the energy around you, someone else, your partner, your work life, your family, your neighbors. Okay, so the traveling card is coming up. So this is a call to pick up and move, to do some spiritual journeying, and that other people around you are doing this, right? So other people around you are traveling, or someone you love may be far away, or they may be, on a spiritual journey or on a literal journey, that's taken them away. I'm sort of getting that someone's missing someone who is not with them. And, but again, I'm just really drawn to the sun here in this card. And I really feel like a lot of people are in the middle of a spiritual journey, in the middle of a personal transformational journey. So it's good news. It's like there's people showing up in your environment that are on a positive path. So these are the people you want to associate with. You don't want to be associated with the people that are just full of negativity and complaint and all the time. Like that can just really bring you down, right? Here's the compromise card. This is also showing up in your environment. This is someone who is compromising themselves. You're with someone, you know it's a compromise, you know it's not working, yet you stay there anyway. And to me, I'm just hearing that it's a call. You don't have to settle. You really can have someone that matches you, right? So another reason to get yourself in a better, higher, more joyful space so that you can draw that into your life. Because if you're miserable, if you're complaining all the time, you're going to draw in that same energy, right? If you're treating yourself badly, if you're doing self-harm, again, back to the addiction energy, you're going to draw in people who treat you badly. So, if the environment is mirroring something that is not you, though, that you're treating yourself really good, you're working hard to raise your life condition, you're working really hard to stay optimistic and positive, no matter what's going down, and somebody else just is their Eeyore all the time. Best to move, get away from them, like, especially if you're empathic. It has been a hard lesson that I have learned in my life, that to not try to fix people, to take people at face value, that what I see is what I get, and I either want to choose to be around this or I choose to move away from it. And when I have moved away from relationships where the other person is just stuck being negative or in an addictive pattern that I can't control, or whatever it is, when I choose to leave because I deserve better, even though I've gone through grief or struggle in the separation period, because, endings are not pretty usually, still, I felt so much better on the other side, and so relieved of not having to deal with an onslaught, especially when I've been in abusive relationships, when the other person is literally hurting me verbally, emotionally, and physically. You know, if you're in one of those situations, and I know a lot of you are, you deserve better. And there are answers. There are ways out. All right, so hopes and fears is the going with the flow card and the control card. So I'm going to start with the fears. The fear is not being in control or having someone else that's controlling you. That's the fear. It doesn't mean it's actually happening, but it's like totally or losing control. I think a lot of people are really afraid right now of losing control of their sanity. Or again, in a relationship with someone else is just controlling, or that you don't feel like you have any control over a situation. It could be work related too. But this is a fear. So, you know, fear, some of the acronyms for fear is false evidence appearing real. Yeah. Oh, it was like, what are some of the other ones? Face everything and recover. That's another good one. And then going with the flow card, it's like, okay, we don't know what, and especially this month with astrological curveballs left and right, it's really important to just listen to your intuition. And you may have to cancel some plans you've made. You may have to stay safe in your house just to avoid some of the conflict that's coming. Because especially when Mercury goes retrograde next week, Mars is already retrograde, so it joins this retrograde party. Uranus and Neptune are retrograde. Like, you know, it may be safer just to stay at home and watch comedies, meditate. Okay, so I put out a number of cards for the outcome because we're never, ta-da, there. We're always in a continuing journey. And even if our journey is crossing over in this lifetime, leaving our physical bodies and crossing over to the next realm, we're never done. Our souls continue. And I believe we'll come back again and grab another body at some point in the future and continue on our karmic path. Because I feel like what my guides have told me is that we're not here for happily ever after. We're here to grow and evolve as souls. And sometimes it's the hardest times that produce the greatest growth. So these intensive times right now can be your greatest growth periods. 2020, instead of being like like horrible, can be your best year ever if you go within and make those changes that your higher self has been calling you to make. The stress card is coming up though for the outcome. So it's like there are going to be so many things you cannot control, and people just trying to like and situations like turn off those TVs and the negative news reports. Like just stay away from the people that create stress in your life. If clutter around your own house, like if your environment is stressing you out, do something about it. Take some small baby step of action, right? Here comes the silence card. Once again, call to spiritual practices. Just get quiet, just get still. Listen to your dreams, listen to your intuition. Take out the surface level stress, right? Here's transformation. So it is through our spiritual practices and getting quiet and getting still and plugging into the greater divine energy that we transform our lives. So again, this is perfect time for transformational times. And so this situation that you feel stuck in, some of you, is going to be transformed. There's good news coming. There's shifting. We're going to move out of this state. Here's the patience card, however. So I'm getting a lot of different hits on this. Okay, on one hand, I'm getting this just certain things that are just going to take some time. Like we're just going to have to realize that the pace we were on before is not the pace now, and that some things, like you can't plant the seed and pick the fruit that, you know, within 24 hours. Some seeds need some time for that to sprout, to grow, to come to fruition. Other things are like magic beanstalk seeds, and the cause and effect can be almost simultaneously. I also am getting this specifically. See this card, there's a pregnant woman. Someone's really wanting to conceive and hasn't been able to, has been having difficulty conceiving or has been waiting long. But so this is a good news for someone who's wanting to get pregnant. So I do feel like that there's like a conception energy coming on, maybe even with twins or multiples. And multiple people that are getting pregnant here. So maybe with more people locked up, there's more people having some good times that can result in future children. Like we're probably going to see like the baby boomers kind of thing. We're probably going to see some equivalent growth of babies being born next year because of COVID. Perhaps there's some of that going on. Here's the miser card. The miser card represents fear around money and financial things in particular. And the miser, the fear starts grabbing and gripping. And so when we start fearing and holding our breath and like, oh my God, I don't have enough. Again, the environment's a reflection of ourselves. When we start contracting internally, the universe like contracts away from us. Whereas we can drop open and trust that the universe has provided 100% of the time up until now. It's not going to stop providing. We can tap into this infinite energy of the divine and know that if we just listen to our intuition, we can be guided into how to manifest, right? Maybe asking for help from someone or an institution or people. It may be actually acting on some intuitive ideas that come in. But the most important thing is when you feel yourself gripping in the fear and the worry and the anxiety, you stop, you breathe. Yourself, I'm okay. It's going to be okay. I will be able to get through this. We are moving through this. There's a letting go energy. So I get that some of you are really going to get adept at letting go of your fears. And with practice, everything gets easier, right? So if it's not easy now, like you get caught up in stress and chaos internally and you just let it take you for, a run on the hamster wheel. When you start practicing, oh, wait, I don't have to take this ride. I can stop and close my eyes. I can just breathe deeply till I feel better. There's so many, online meditation apps. I love to listen to the sound of running water or ocean waves or drum beating, or sometimes it's just turning on something like that can just really lift your spirits, and it can be, just sort of a meditational sound in the background can be super helpful. But also, I feel like someone's letting go of that relationship you're struggling in too. You're afraid to, with the miser card right next to you, afraid of maybe financial fallout, but you're done. I'm like, I gotta let this go. There's got to be, I don't care. Like it's like I'll just leave with the clothes on my back kind of feeling is what I feel going on. And I feel like there may be literally some of that going on to the Tower card. The Thunderbolt card is coming, which is a big, huge change. This would be the Tower card in a normal tarot deck. I'm using the Osho Zen tarot deck, by the way, if anybody is curious what my deck is. It's OSHO and then Zen, Osho Zen tarot. So this is a life shaking you up, breaking things down, and it's big shifting, big changing. This could literally be earthquakes. I've been saying this all year. I've been really feeling some horrific earthquakes coming. And I feel like they're going to be hitting in California. Maybe some other places on the globe as well, but California in particular, I've been really worried about. So again, if you're living out there in Cali and you are getting a strong intuition or dreams that are saying, leave, you might want to follow that. Might want to go visit your relatives in another state right now. And again, I don't know when this is coming in, but it feels soon to me. It feels like it's before the end of this year, in the next few months. Okay, the healing card is coming. I feel like nothing gets taken away or torn down with it being replaced by something better. So there's definitely some wonderful healing coming. Healing of the mind, body, and spirit. So I feel like there are some of you too. Some of this Tower card and letting go is some of you going, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to put the sugar down. I'm going to put the alcohol down. I'm going to put the drugs down. I'm going to put the gambling down. I'm going to put the sex down. Whatever it is that you're doing to excess and you know it's not working for you. I feel like some of you are really, all right, uncle, I surrender. There's a 12-step program for virtually anything that you're addicted to and want to let go of, and you can be with others that are doing the same thing. And some of you are really making some life-changing shifts to make your life better. So that's a good news. And then also some of you that are leaving these destructive relationships are just going to feel so much better on the other side. Even if you're staying on a friend's couch, it's better than the gnarly way you're feeling right now. And then the friendliness card is coming up. This is like knowing that you have good friends and new friends coming in. Like it feels like there's new friends, new connections. Again, with this sort of theme of feeling like people are going to be getting into recovery, that there's friends in your new recovery circles and your new group. And that's kind of what I'm getting back with this participation card, is this sort of, okay, I'll plug in with others. I'm not alone, like needing that support, needing to not feel alone right now. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing as a general reading for right now. Hopefully, y'all have gotten something out of that. If you have anything you want me to look at specifically, let me know. Send me an email. My email is bringoutthebuddha@gmail.com. So those are the words all put out together: bringoutthebuddha@gmail. That's my email. That's how you can get in touch with me. Send me an email. Let me know if you have any questions you'd like me to answer and look at psychically for you. You know, that you think other people would also like to know. Of course, if you want to schedule a personal reading with me, you're free to do that as well. Contact me in the same way. My website is still down. We're, again, with all these retrograde planets, it's taking longer than we'd hoped to get it back up and running. And we're going to be changing. Well, the website's already been renamed. It's just not up and operating yet. So I'm going to wait till it's actually, you can go check it out before I let you know what it's called. If you'd like to make a donation to help me support this channel, you can do that through PayPal at that same email, bringoutthebuddha@gmail, or through Venmo at Karen-Marie-16, like sweet 16. That's my handle. It's a picture of me playing the guitar. That's KAREN-MARIE-16. That's my Venmo account. Love to accept your donations. I appreciate those of you that have donated already. Makes a big difference. And validates what's going on here. So let me see if there's anything else that I need to deliver. Okay, there's someone's loved one that's it feels like someone's just lost a father. It feels like there's some COVID deaths. Well, duh, but I feel like someone that's watching this has lost a father to COVID, or a father-in-law or grandfather. It's the father energy. And you can look for them to be showing up in your dreams and communicating a specific message. What I always get when people cross over is they will often reach out to their loved ones within the first few days of when they cross. And then it can go through a period where you may not feel them. You may like, well, where are they? And it feels like it takes a while for them to be acclimated on the other side. There's always spiritual others receiving, like nobody crosses over into nothingness. Well, I won't say that, because some ghosts get stuck. Some people get stuck and want to stay tied to this plane. And those are the ones, you know, if you ever encounter ghosts, the thing to do is to direct them to go to the light. And you can say that out loud. If you've got a ghost in your house, or if you encounter ghosts, you can say, go to the light. Or if you feel like you've got a loved one that has hung around and hasn't crossed over, go to the light. We're good without you. But usually after a period of time, they will start communicating and letting you know that they're still here. Some of the younger souls come back into bodies pretty quickly. I feel like there's someone who's lost a baby, either in pregnancy or had a miscarriage or something. And I feel like that soul will come back. If you've been asking me this question during this, that soul is gonna, I'm getting goosebumps with this. So this soul is about to come back in again. So someone's just lost a baby, had a miscarriage, or had a stillborn, had a baby die in the utero, and that soul is coming back in. I'm gonna keep on trying until I come through. I'm just getting someone's loved one named Fred has crossed, and that Fred is someone who is like a trickster. He was really funny. He may have had his own sense of humor. That was kind of, there's an oddity, kind of weirdness around Fred. He's a, but he's feeling joy. That's what the message is like, oh, I just feel joy. Like whatever was plaguing him while he was in a body has, like, that's, the physical body is gone. He doesn't have any of that going on, and he's just really enjoying just being in spirit. So there's that message. See if there's any other messages from loved ones on the other side. That's all I'm getting right now. Yeah. Okay, let me just see if there's anything else anybody needs to know. I'm getting that too. It's like it should reshuffle it to see if there's, just draw a few cards. Messages. Okay, nurture yourself. Self-care. Saying that in every video lately is just can't say it enough. Self-care. Go that extra mile. Take the extra soak in the tub. Move your body. If you have not been getting exercise, move your body. Put on music that brings you joy so you can dance, and even if it's in your bedroom or your living room. Take a walk around the block. Walk up and down the stairs. Movement is critical. And are not getting enough movement in. Get some yoga. But do something that brings you joy. Dancing, like, do something that, like swimming, you get to a water source. That compromise card again, and the aloneness card. Yeah, someone is really afraid of leaving a relationship. Here kind of is an echoing of what the general was about. There's definitely, and I feel like there's many of you that are watching that are in this situation, are in a primary relationship or a work relationship where you are compromising. You are not being treated like you deserve to be treated. Everyone deserves to be listened to and heard and validated and loved and encouraged and supported. And if you're not getting that energy in your primary relationship, you don't have to stay. That's the compromise card. It's already come up once, but I'll show it to you again. It's just when it's not right. You're compromising, and it's not going to get better. I mean, if it hasn't gotten better for however many weeks, years, whatever. This was like years. This was like someone who's been in this situation for a long time, and you just keep hoping the other person will make a change and it'll get better, and they'll see themselves, so they'll put down their addictive behavior in it. This card is coming up next. It's the aloneness card. So the aloneness card can come up when it's a spiritual search card, for one thing, but it also is when you have to go out by yourself and be alone. This in a spiritual search level, even if you're with a group of people that are chanting or praying, or in a church group, you're in a drum circle, you're in a chanting community, you're still having your own connection to the divine, even if you're doing it with others. So it's your own unique connection. So I feel like someone also needs to just leave all the things they've been told about spiritual practices and spiritual paths, just follow what you feel spirit is guiding you to do. And then those of you that have been asking whether or not you should stay or go, I say go. Not that everybody has to go. Like, like I said, if you're weighing things out and you write your list of pros and you write your list of cons in the relationship, and the list of pros outweighs the list of cons, then it's still workable. But if the list of cons is longer than your list of pros, definitely leave. So do that exercise. Write down everything that's positive about your relationship, and then write down everything that's negative and look at it. Have it come to Jesus and look at it, all right? And then here's the creator card. So this is your ability. We all have the ability to manifest anything. We all are creators. We're made in the likeness and image of a creator. That's what the Bible says. We all have this spirit of being able to create. So we create through the beliefs we hold, the thoughts we think, the words we speak, and the actions that we do. That's how we manifest. So if you, for example, want to manifest prosperity, more money, a job that's lucrative, you have to first off believe that you can have that. Do you believe that that's true? That you can manifest your ideal job? You can manifest your ideal relationship? You can manifest, like, really sit with that. Do you believe it? Because if you don't really believe it, you're going to be, no matter what you say or do, you're going to cancel it out with your disbelief. So you have to drill down to get to your belief systems, because we have unconscious and subconscious beliefs that can sabotage. Okay, and then your self-talk. What do you say to yourself? Do you have positive messaging going on internally? You're trying to manifest prosperity, but you're always like, you loser, you never have enough, you didn't do that right, you're always, whatever. Like, again, we may be so used to the droning negativity within that we don't pay attention, but try to be vigilant over that inner noise and let your higher self grab the internal microphone. We have like an internal commentator, and if it's like, it's a horrible day and it's going to be another day where you lose and nobody likes me. Like, what if you got this doom and gloom voice going on? Grab the microphone. Okay, it's a positive day. There's beautiful things all around. There's things I can be grateful for. Writing gratitude list is so powerful too. When you're feeling crappy, to just come up with 3 things that you can be grateful for can really shift and have you start focusing on the positive. But if you've been having negative inner talk for your whole lifetime, for example, it's not going to just switch overnight, right? You have to work at it. You have to be persistently shifting. But if you start persistently working on it, you'll be amazed at what starts shifting, right? Pay attention to the speech that comes out of your mouth. Do you say, I'm always broke? Oh, sorry, I can't do that. I don't have enough. Like, what's coming out of your mouth? Do you want that to be true? Our words are powerful. And then our actions. Are you getting ideas creatively, yet taking no action towards them? If you're getting these internal promptings that your higher self is giving you clear sense of guidance, but you're not doing it, just, again, baby steps. Take one action that moves things forward. Persistence, not perfection, is how you make something shift, right? So when you want to manifest, first of all, also having a desired outcome. What do you want as the outcome to be? If you don't like how your life is right now, what do you want it to be? And if you can't get the visual picture, like, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, I don't know what an ideal relationship is going to look like. Okay, how do you want to feel, right? How do you want to feel when you have a job that pays you well, that you enjoy doing, that you can do with whatever parameters? You get to be outside, or you get to be at home, or you get to be working with people you love. Like, what is that going to feel like? And try to track yourself to the solution instead of staying stuck in the problem. If you're telling yourself, I can't leave this person, I can't afford it financially, like, I would leave, but I just can't. Well, you're telling yourself you can't, so you won't be able to. Where if you start opening up your mind and your heart for solutions, okay, I'm feeling guided to leave this relationship or this shitty job or whatever. So, okay, this is scary, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to bring myself joy, to bring myself happiness. I'm willing to manifest a new reality for myself, because this is transformational times. These are the times to be able to transform your life into something better. Just like a weight, when you work out, pick up a heavy weight, it's that, but the resistance, if you work with that resistance, it actually creates stronger muscles, right? So we have to work these things, right? You can't just give lip service to an affirmation and skip along your negative way. To truly change your life, you have to affect change. And you might want to get a buddy to help you do some of these. Like, I really want to work on my inner self-talk, but so get a friend and ask a friend, hey, do you want to work on your inner self-talk? Can we check in regularly? Can we just text each other positive messages throughout the day? Like, that's another way to work with others to help you manifest what you want. Get a buddy that you can tell the truth to. Like, I really want to get out of this relationship and I just don't know how. Okay. So first of all, believe that the way will be shown to you one step at a time, right? All right. I feel like that's it. That's what I needed to communicate today. Next week, I'm going to have an interview with a special guest, Logan Sparks. So look forward to checking out that video. You can check out my previous videos that I've put on this YouTube page. Please subscribe, like, comment, share it. If you're seeing this on Facebook, like it, comment it, share it. Really appreciate all your support out there. And for all my wonderful clients that have been with me for decades, really appreciate you guys and the feedback that I'm getting through the emails of how much you're enjoying these videos and how much you enjoy my work. Like, really, it just means so much to me, really. So peace.